Well, hello there, I am Happy Owl and I welcome you to this playthrough of Reverse 1999. On today's program we're picking up 1.6's event story where we left it off previously. One thing to note is that in order to make my life easier in terms of editing and uploading, I decided to divide this single livestream into two parts. Therefore, you can expect one more video which will be the conclusion for this half anniversary event. In the meantime, you can enjoy the middle part of the story. Right now I'm recording this introduction after my livestream on twitch.tv/happyowl_productions, so if you wanna come say hi and hang out there, you're more than welcome to do so. Anyway, I hope you enjoy Reverse 1999 just as much as I do, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Stage 10. Treat them right. Not far away, Gesheng can be seen stopping near the post where the animals were tied, vaguely moving as if whispering something to them.
Can you understand me? Can you tell me where you are from?
Hello.
Yenase waits for a moment before walking forward and attempting to pat her shoulder. The girl turns around to reveal her young and eager face.
What's wrong? I don't know you. Have we met before?
Oh, the first meeting between Gesheng, Yenase, and Besmert.
I don't think so. We just arrived here.
Really? Oh, welcome to Pay City!
Yenase cannot help but hold her eyes on the bundled hemp rope the girl is holding in her hand, and the many animals now tied at the end of it. Gesheng blinks, then blinks again, as though realizing what the other girl is staring at. A blush quickly rises to her cheeks, like two sunset clouds. Ah, that's cute.
You were on the street, weren't you? I am so sorry. I didn't mean to make such a scene there. I promise it was just an accident.
I can imagine. You reacted quickly and saved us from more trouble.
No. It was my responsibility. And the people on the street also gave me a hand there. How can I help you? Please, feel free to let me know.
She seems to be a warm-hearted type.
Here is the case. The people call you Junangzi, and you work in the Jisi, right?
I love her way of pronouncing these words. I mean, it's not like I'm any better, but still.
Yes.
Li Zhang told us to find you, and we happened to hear your conversation on the street. So, did the Featherman come here today?
Featherman? You mean the Xiangwei out of the city? I heard that he had been here. As for today, I have no idea.
What about the animals in the fence? Any new ones?
I'm not sure about that either. When I arrived at the Jutsu this morning, there were already many festive animals in the fence. They're getting more and more. How weird is that?
It is indeed, that's weird. Do you think all these animals are actually humans that were turned after drinking that water and being led by, our dear friend Featherman? Gesheng mutters inaudibly before turning around, pointing out the culprits who caused her so much trouble earlier with her index finger. Yenase inspects the creatures briefly, but doesn't seem to notice any difference. It seems to be a show for common livestock, where various cattle, sheep, and horses might compete to show their worth.
See? They all look alike. I can't tell which of them were brought here today. Counting is troublesome as well. I always think, where am I? If only I could read and write. You write them down, then you won't miscount.
Aww.
Our teammates have been turned into striped horses, like these. Actually, we are a team of merchants. When we reached the outskirts of the city, our teammates were turned into horses and brought away by a giant bird. Li Zhang said that bird was probably the Featherman they've been looking for, and he appeared around the Gesheng once. That's why we are here to ask for help.
They're... they're not horses, I suppose.
Jianyangzhe seems hesitant to say anything further.
But how is that possible? Are you saying that the Featherman can turn people into horses?
No, I believe he cannot do that. He said it himself. I think it's not his doing.
I don't understand. How did he get this power? Is it because he is the Xiangrui?
Upon hearing the word Xiangrui again, Besmet's interest is immediately captured.
We've also heard about the Zhongrui from the storyteller. It does sound like some kind of local guardian.
Guardian? Is it the gods of Sheti we're talking about?
Oh,
The god
yes.
of what now?
The gods of Sheti. These are the gods you serve.
Oh,
I guess Zhongrui is closer to a local legend, like a reputed arcanist in this area. The use of arcane skills seems common here. Perhaps there are also many arcanists around. But could you please tell us more about the gods of Sheti?
Plus, it seems, at the very least from what we heard from the old man, that there is no discrimination against arcanists here, so there could be a lot of them here.
There are 12 or 13 of them, I guess. That's all I know. I can't read most of their names.
Aww.
Oh, but I know this year is the year of Zhishu. We will bring lots of festive animals to the Broken Bridge to worship it. The Fortune Walk and Bridge Leap are the most fun parts. We go to the Broken Bridge on the cliff with the animals, count our steps, and swing our bodies, like dancing. And at last, we will try to jump over it.
Okay, why not?
Jump over a broken bridge on the cliff? It sounds dangerous and quite familiar.
Besmet knows exactly what Yenisei is hinting at. The familiar rule of ask and acquire resurfaces in their minds, but no one attempts to ask it out loud. So that Jianyangzhe's explanation interrupts their thoughts with perfect timing.
No, we can't do that. No one has ever done that. Even the goats can't do that, let alone humans.
I love how she compared humans to goats.
We'll also cast arcane skills as safety measures to protect anyone from falling.
Oh, okay. So it is a safe activity.
The valley is deep down there. Once you fall down, you're not coming back.
Intriguing. And who's in charge of the safety measures, may I ask?
The staff in the Jutsu is the place to manage arcane affairs in the Pei City. But not me. I'm new here, filling in for the former Jilly after she went back to her hometown. They told me to take care of Jutsu for a couple of days. That's good enough for me.
Oh, you're only here for a couple of days. Oh, I'm disappointed. Her eagerness to be able to help is clear.
So, simply put, you're a doorkeeper?
That's one way of saying it. The barb of her conclusion makes Jianyangzhe flustered into a red blush.
I'm not just keeping the door safe. I do stuff too. Take good care of those startled by the firecrackers. There is a kind of firecracker enhanced by arcane skill. It can make a huge sound, much more louder than what you heard in the tea house.
Oh, look at her trying to defend her own activities and prove that she's actually doing something.
Please forgive her. She didn't mean to hurt your feelings. We speak bluntly in the north.
Oh, it's all right. I can tell she's a bit anxious, but it's not getting us anywhere. Like, pigs can't learn how to climb in a day.
Does that mean they can learn to climb with more days or months or even a year? That's not entirely sure how that works.
Or, let's think another way. Do you recognize your teammates from these horses?
Do they have
There
stripes?
are 1, 2, striped horses. Come see for yourself.
Oh,
I can't. There was little time for me to memorize the difference. Besides, even if they are my teammates, 2 of them are still missing.
I believe the horses had yellow stripes.
More than
Perhaps
3
that helps.
teammates? When 3 plus 2...
They're really leaning on the fact that she can't count, eh? Jun Youngzhe counts out the numbers on her fingers, calculating with great care.
How about we wait and see what Li Zheng has found out? That's right, child. Didn't Li Zheng leave us with a letter?
Did he? I actually don't
I almost
remember.
forgot. Please read this, Miss Junangse. It may have clues about the Featherman.
She produces the letter, offering it to the girl. Jun Youngzhe opens it in front of them without a moment's hesitation, but all Yenisei can see on it are several images.
Make the fence taller, get off work earlier, and go back to the tavern?
How did she get all that from this image?
What is he trying to say?
I am wondering that myself.
What do these have to do with the Featherman?
No idea. Jun Youngzhe mutters to herself as she stares at the pictures on the letter before frowning and smoothing it out. She clumsily folds it and clips it to her waist.
Well, don't worry. I'll pay close attention to the new horses for you.
Why, thank you.
If there's any good news, I'll ask Li Zheng to tell you.
Thank you again.
You're so
She's
kind.
adorable.
But we just got here and haven't decided where to stay for the night. How are we going to keep Li Zheng informed once we find a place to rest?
Oh, I see.
You have a proposal, perhaps? An idea? An answer leaps to her mind, bursting through and out at the same time.
How about staying in my tavern? I forgot to tell you that I'm the owner of a tavern.
You're the owner? You don't just work there, you're actually the owner? Wow, okay, that's impressive.
And I'm doing it well.
Wait, how can you be an owner of a tavern if you don't know how to count? Is someone else keeping the books for you? She laughs as though just the saying of it might render it true.
It is located in the merchant's hub, 2 streets away from the Zhici. Li Zheng will know your whereabouts since he's in charge of the hub. I'll take you back to the tavern. Also, escort these animals back to the Zhici. You can check out other animals there as well.
Good idea.
That'd be great. Saves us from all the trouble sleeping on the street.
Yeah, sleeping on the street would probably be quite bad, I think.
Let's go then. Oh, the street looks beautiful later in the night. You can't miss the golden lanterns and bonfires lit on Dushuo Festival. They light up the sky and the street as if it's daytime.
Oh, I'm curious to see that.
Everything seems brighter at night.
I hope they actually show it at some point in the game. To be continued. Stage 11, Night Talk. A breathtaking number of animals lie within the Zhici, a fact that only hinders their efforts to find their companions. I pray to God I'm pronouncing these things right, but I have no idea. After weighing their options, they decide to follow Jun Youngzhe and settle in at the tavern first. The weary travelers are more than eager to relieve their fatigue after journeying non-stop for so long. And they have more than earned it, because strange things have indeed happened to them non-stop for several days.
Madam, what do you think about Junang's words? Could that be Ask in the Choir?
Wait, what do you mean? Did I miss something?
Jumping over a broken bridge is like jumping over a canyon or climbing over a mountain.
Oh, that part.
It's a condition that cannot be met, like those merchants said.
An inevitable price?
Both of them fall silent, lost in thought. However, Besmer's doubts do not seem to have fallen on deaf ears, as Junyangzhe responds while walking out from the
Are you
tavern.
talking about the broken bridge outside the city? Oh, I'm so sorry. The chairs in the lobby have not been cleaned yet. Please take a seat here just for now.
Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you for letting us stay here. As for the broken bridge we talked about, can you tell me more about it?
When I first got here, the bridge was already broken. Beneath that is a deep canyon. Across that canyon stands the Yuan Temple. You can't see it from the other side of the bridge. It's surrounded by fog. So, I'm not sure if there really is a temple there or not.
The Yuan Temple.
They
You
say
know
you
this?
can talk to Zhishu in the Yuan Temple. Be faithful and ask it. It will answer you. What did they call this? The divination, I think? They also said that the fog was strange. You can't stay there for long, or you'll pass out and get overexcited. Well, I haven't seen such things so far.
Okay, that is strange. Divination, isn't that the power Matilda uses? I think? Oh, apparently Besmer is intrigued or
But
interested.
even so, people of that time still rushed there and prayed. Doesn't it mean that the divination is for real? After the bridge was broken, no one's wish was ever granted.
Oh, that's sad.
Seems odd. There was already a bridge in the first place. Why wouldn't people rebuild it in all these years?
Good question.
I can answer this one. The river dried out. People couldn't swim across, and the cliffs between the mountains were too dangerous to jump over. But if one can be the new Xiangrui, the problem will be solved. The Xiangruis are awesome. They protect the city, help the people. There's nothing they can't do.
But how do they help you cross a bridge, though? I mean, the Featherman could probably lift someone and help them cross the bridge, the broken bridge, I mean, but that doesn't seem really practical if you actually have to move across that bridge every single day, and if there are multiple people trying to do that. So, yeah, I'm questioning the logistics of this solution. As she speaks, she sinks into her own personal contemplation.
Never mind. We'll check the striped horses in the Gesheng again tomorrow.
New
Alright,
objective
I'll go
acquired.
with you. It's time to rest now. I got the rooms cleaned for you upstairs.
Thank you.
And here, take the liquor with you. They can help you sleep tight.
Okay, she's getting us
You
drunk.
got to have some.
Sorry, Miss Junangse. I don't drink. Neither does Madame Besmertz.
What? How dare you refuse good liquor? Oh well, you absolutely have the right not to drink. I was just kidding.
Why did you call me Miss twice? If you want some water, wait a second, please. The water jars are on the other side of the yard. I'll get it for you.
Look how thoughtful she is.
Oh, I can do it myself. You don't have to.
It's fine. There's no light near the jar. You need to cross the stream. I'm afraid you might get lost.
Thank you.
Thank you indeed. Once the girl's voice and figure are obscured by the night, Yenisei turns to look at Besmert. She seems puzzled, or perhaps just tired.
There were so many different striped horses in the Gesheng. I couldn't recognize them at all. We are going to get up early tomorrow. Please, have some water and go to bed.
I'm not thirsty, thank you. But I do feel like some rest.
She did sound tired.
Okay, I'll take you to the room.
The girl returns from fetching water only to find Yenisei alone in the hallway. Looking around and not seeing Besmet, she walks over and naturally sits where Besmet sat at earlier.
I didn't see you from there. I thought you went to sleep.
Oh, sorry. Madame Besmet is tired, so thank you for helping us.
Don't bother. Here's the water.
As she takes up the ceramic cup, Yenisei is slightly surprised. In her mind, a material like this is one of two extremes, crudeness and finesse. One of handmade rough balls used by the populace, and the latter of delicate treasures owned only by the rich nobles. Yet, this cup is a combination of the two extremes. It's used by an ordinary tavern owner, but it is marked by a refined, tasteful aesthetic. She rubs the side of the cup with her fingers, gently brushing across the painted patterns as if feeling a fine porcelain vase.
The cup.
What's wrong?
It looks expensive.
It's a gift I received. I don't know how much it costs, but it's delicate, isn't it?
It looks pretty, and is that a deer or some kind right here?
Yes, it is delicate.
Yenisei feels compelled to rub the surface of the ceramic cup again, as though she cannot bear to part from it, and loses herself in her thoughts.
The pattern is a lu shu, also a kind of xiangrui.
Oh?
See? It's majestic. The tail is like the sunset clouds. I really like it. I hope you do too.
I certainly do.
Majestic indeed. And it looks a bit like those striped horses in the Gesheng. Both of them are similar to horses.
But people still think they're horses, don't they?
Sure they do. I think this species is native to Pei City. It's an interesting discovery and will help enrich our travel notes.
Junyangzhe lowers her head to look at the cup in her own hand. Yenisei can smell a fermented aroma emanating from within, like kvass, but without the sweet aroma of wheat. I do not know what kvass is, but okay.
She's in bed now. I can only drink it for her.
Your drink smells good. Is this the liquor that helps one sleep tight?
Not exactly. It's just unfiltered liquor.
Oh wow, okay.
Sounds like you have a lot of different kinds of liquor here.
Sure we do. There are a lot of different liquors. The unfiltered ones, the clear ones, the ones made of herbs, the fine ones, and on and on. Bedtime liquor is made of herbs with spine date seeds.
I thought liquor was just liquor. At least there aren't so many types in my hometown.
Well, to be honest, I too have no idea why they are still liquor, though they have different names. If the color is the standard to classify them, then what am I when I'm wearing different colored clothes? Am I not Zhou Nyangzi anymore?
That is deeply philosophical for a conversation about drinking and liquor. Shocked, Yenisei cannot help but break into a laugh. Seeing the other girl smile, Jianyangzhe's eyes begin to sparkle. She nods and decides to go one step further and express her thoughts.
That is to say, if your teammates are turned into horses or other animals in different colors, are they not your teammates anymore?
They are. Of course.
Yenisei stops talking. This childish conversation might have caused her to erupt with laughter, but the weight of the situation is still acute. I did not do that. Calm down. There you go. Where was I? Yenisei stops talking. This childish conversation might have caused her to erupt with laughter, but the weight of the situation is still acute, and her worries swell deep within her. Now, we can go back to this. The chirping of birds in this cold night gently blankets the sound of her anxious breathing.
I'm worried, actually. Well, maybe not just worried. I don't know.
Looks like You really miss your teammates.
Miss them. I won't use this word to describe my feeling.
Yeah, I can't see her actually missing them given how not very nice they were. But, yeah, I guess she might be concerned about
All
them.
I'm thinking is, they were turned into animals because I gave them the wrong direction.
Oh, she blames herself.
What if they can't turn back to who they really are?
The frankness of her own inquiry unmasks the long unease Yenisei had been harboring since entering this strange city. After speaking, she holds her breath and controls the impulse to turn back and look toward Besmet. For a moment, she is no longer even sure of where she is.
But I don't think that will happen. Things won't get any worse.
I hope not.
There must be a way. I promise. Like the clouds turn colorful, pool water gets sweet like liquor. There are many signs of auspiciousness. They just need time. Think about it. What if the story about the Yuan Temple is real? Maybe there will be another way for you to recognize your teammates.
She's definitely on the optimistic side of things, eh?
Even if the Featherman is not a Xiangrui, there are other Xiangruis in the city.
But do you think they would actually help us?
All in all,
All in all? Jun Youngzhe racks her brain to find another way to persuade Yenisei, but is stopped by the other girl before she can begin. Despite the cultural differences between the two of them, Yenisei feels a surge of warmth from her brief, trembling words.
Thank you, miss. No. Junangse, I see what you mean. I really do.
Yenisei takes a deep breath and exhales both calm emotions and words together, so that like a light white smoke, they soon drift away. There
Thank
you
you.
go.
it's nothing. I will definitely help you. Oh, here's some other spine date seeds. Drink the water, and I'll go make you a cup of tea with the seeds. It also helps you sleep.
Wait, that's not liquor, that's just tea, right? Because Yenisei doesn't drink apparently, so you should be careful not to give her a drink. Well, an alcoholic drink, I mean. Jun Youngzhe shoots up to immediately rummage around in the bag beside her as she urges Yenisei to drain what is left in her cup. Yenisei drinks down all the cold, sweet water and hands the still compelling cup back to her. She then watches Jun Youngzhe step onto the porch and run back into the hall at a trot. She takes a long breath and turns to look at the arid night sky. It seems even in a strange city like this, she can enjoy the same bright moonlight as the Seps. To be continued again. Stage 12, Dancing Dolls. The curtain of night has already fallen, but even after drinking another cup of tea promised to induce drowsiness, Yenisei finds that sleep evades her. In theory, someone so heavily fatigued should fall fast asleep the very moment the opportunity presents itself, but not for her. On the contrary, her mind, so sick with worries, seemed to run faster now than ever in the stillness of night. She stands up, steps away from the couch, and treads lightly down the stairs. Unwelcome in even her own dreams, she wanders around without direction.
The yard, go downstairs, and through the main hall.
Where is she going? Groping around for the railing in the darkness, she walks up and then down the steps. One step, another step. As she descends, a rustling sound envelops her in the darkness.
What's that sound?
I do not know, but I wasn't
Where
finished
does
reading.
it come from?
Seriously? Oh.
Who is it? Someone's singing?
Without realizing it, she departs the second floor and follows the sound into the spacious hall of the tavern. With the cascading moonlight and melodious singing, the scene laid out before her is one that defies description.
What?
What on earth is that? Oh, a striped horse.
The striped
glows?
horses. How come they're glowing? What? What on earth is happening?
Hey, yo, what? This is the strangest thing.
Боже мой.
With its red mane and luminous stripes, the horse stands there. And the singing continues, almost freezing Yenisei in place. She turns around sharply, trying to escape the sound by the group of wooden dolls who were in her cup earlier. Oh, they stopped? Thank God they stopped. I have to admit, I guess their voices are supposed to be cute or something like that, but I find those very annoying. So I hope they don't speak too much.
Are they asking me to drink?
Apparently so, and quite aggressively so as well.
Junanse, where are you? Is she?
Now the wooden dolls originally submerged in the stream in the courtyard have begun to climb up the bank. They surround her, spinning, singing, and contorting, with bodies clearly possessing a flexibility beyond what wood should possess. Using this odd flexibility, they repeatedly lift their full cups towards the NSA. So they're a bunch of wooden dolls who happen to be drunkards, basically.
No.
This invitation, perhaps initially hospitable, turns increasingly creepy in the dark night. Making a choice now requires next to no thought. Yenisei jumps out from their enclosure and runs toward the other end of the yard, toward the water jar. Fortunately, she clearly remembered the location pointed out by Ju Myung-je.
I can't go back to my room. Need to lead them away.
The wooden dolls still sing happily, as if they are only playing a game of tag. Yeah, calling them creepy is not far from the truth, at least not for me. The beasts are there. And no, I do not have Melania, I have Centurion, who's awesome. What is this? Buff mark loses 1 stack when attacked. At the start of the round, applies buff or debuffs based on the number of stacks owned. Okay. Well, we'll attack it.
Yes, I know. Oh, hi.
Nice debuff, then you debuff again, then you kill. Yay!
Ambulance? Right toes.
Let's see. We'll buff you, we'll debuff you, and hopefully this will kill both.
Till the torch is lit.
Oh, hi.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't expect it to do so much damage,
to
but
divide the spoils, or should I say, a reasonable reallocation of the profits?
I am curious. Oh no, they're still there. The wooden dolls stage a disorganized offensive with a piercing sound that twists Yenisei's perception of her surroundings. She can only stand by the water jar in a constant retreat, consciously nearing a dead end.
No! Can't stop here. I must go further.
This is increasingly creepy.
Come here! This way!
The wooden figures have no ears, so it seems unlikely they hear or understand her. Nonetheless, they are lured in, leaping forward with strange enthusiasm. Never tiring, just like those cups, always lifted high, constantly spilling and overflowing. Oh? It seems these crude wooden creations are quick to be alert to sudden interlopers. They immediately stop their siege of Yenisei and abruptly turn toward the tall trees in the courtyard.
Huh? Where are they going?
I think there was someone else. The coercive rhythm plays heavier and faster than before, as they jump a few more hops towards the bottom of the tree.
Be off!
Ah! Could that be our featherman? Seems so. A wand of bone flies out from the darkness, scattering liquor and shattering the wooden figures into pieces. Serenity comes back to the scene, the end coming as swiftly as it begins.
They are conjured. So feebly.
Who is it?
It's you.
It is I.
The featherman who stole our horses.
No matter. You're leaving with me.
I am now.
Leave me alone! What is going on?
Silence. It's dangerous here, and words are no help to us.
Interesting. He seems to be willing to help us this time. The last time he didn't want to have anything to do with us, it seemed. Without hesitation, the giant bird grabs Yenisei's arms quickly, lifting her up and away from the courtyard. Her struggle proves futile in the howling wind. The sound of flapping wings, punctuated by the shrieking girl, gradually fades in the distance, leaving only a disordered mess as evidence in the courtyard. In the morning, Junyoung-je walks into this shambolic scene. A still intact wooden doll bounces around, gathering the remains of its kind into a ball.
What's going on? I told you to keep the house, not to tear it down. Be a good host, offering a drink.
Oh shit, okay, so they were trying to be a good host, but they took it too far.
Offer a drink to whom? Those two ladies should be soundly asleep upstairs. One was downstairs at night. Birdman with her. Birdman? You mean that Featherman? He had been here? What was he doing here? He's not even a Xiangrui, nor is he doing anything good. Do not offer a drink to him.
Okay, for some reason she doesn't like him.
If I were the one treating him, I would... He took one with him. Wait, what? Took whom with him? The Scarlet. The Brown took away the Scarlet. Brown? Scarlet? What color is that? You're just confusing me. I'll make you one more mouse next time. What on earth are you talking about?
Why do you want to give it one more mouth? How is it going to help him explain things better? You okay there, Besmet? Junyoung-je turns around to see Besmet fall over the threshold. She quickly approaches with her skirt held up, and the wooden doll jumping up and down, hiding behind her.
Be careful. I'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Where's Yenisei? Did you see her upstairs or in the yard?
Are you talking about your red-haired friend? Did she go out?
No, not very likely. She would have told me if she was going out. Or at least ask someone to pass on the message. Did you really not see her today?
Jianyangzhe racks her brain, her voice coming out serious and resolute.
No. Not this morning, no.
The missing persons cases. Is this how they happened?
I don't know. Li Zheng didn't make it in time to tell me the details.
Basmat falls into silence. This is a loss that she finds difficult to accept.
I'm only saying, if this is another missing case, there must be a clue or two telling us what happened. Could you please look around and see if she left anything in the yard? She must have been taken from there, or I would have definitely heard the noises.
Basmat anxiously grasps Jianyangzhe's hands. Their hands are equally coarse, one pair exposed to age and sun, and the other exposed to grueling work.
Stay calm. Let's go ask Li Zheng.
Wait,
What's wrong?
I sense an arcane energy. Someone cast a skill in the yard. Follow me.
Where are you going? You can't see. Just tell me. I'll take you there.
No, please follow me.
You're heading toward the water jar. I was here last night to get water.
It's somewhere close to the water jar. I sense it clearly.
Basmat wades through the stream and stops in front of the water jar. She crouches down to find something among the scattered leaves in front of her.
Is
It's
this
the wand.
a bone?
That makes sense. Li Zheng told us that the Featherman uses a bone wand. Yenisei also saw something similar in that giant bird's hand when we faced him outside the city.
I knew it. Now we have the proof. We can...
No, it's not enough. And Yenisei is missing.
Well, we do have to find her.
Why not enough? He left his bone wand, which means he was here before. And your friend is missing. Still not enough to prove his guilt?
Ah, that is what we call circumstantial evidence, Your Honor.
But only Yenisei knows what the giant bird looks like. She also drew the picture of that bird. Without her, we cannot confirm that the Featherman and the giant bird are the same creature.
I don't understand. You're saying that even if we have his bone wand, we can't prove anything?
Exactly.
But I think you're overthinking.
Plus, technically speaking, I guess he could have lost his wand before Yenisei was kidnapped or after she was kidnapped. Well, we actually know for a fact that he's the one who kidnapped her, but still. Theoretically speaking, if we were Jianyangzhe or Basmat, we couldn't actually say one way or another. Basmat raises her head slightly, conveying her confusion in subtle movements.
I mean, whether enough or not, it's not up to us, right?
Fair enough.
I know nothing about the law. It just doesn't feel right.
The girl's voice quietens down, giving rise to her own hesitation.
I'm just thinking we should do something because you are sad.
Aw, she's cute. She wants to help again. But Basmat already understands.
You have a point. Then, we...
Let's go to the Jitsu now. Li Zheng will be there today. He's supposed to tell me something about the Dushuo festival. Let's tell him what happened today. He will know what to do.
Sure.
I have a feeling that is not what Besmet wanted to do. They decided to head towards the Chese. Besmet puts away the bone wand and follows Junyangzhe's footsteps carefully, one at a time. They leave the wooden doll standing in place, a sentinel atop the rest of the debris. To be continued. Stage 13, Gesheng. If that is how it is pronounced, I have no idea. Zhese. Li Zheng is flipping through annual expense account records from previous years, worries written on his hard and wizened face. Junyangzhe is sure to report for duty on time, and he must have a decision ready before she does.
In past years, the festive animals used in the fortune walk and the bridge leap were less than 3. A cow, a goat, and a donkey, without exception. The poorer the harvest, the less food for the animals and less well-fed donkeys. So people had to use horses instead. However, aren't there too many festive animals this time? Even if it is for celebrating the birth of Zhishi, not to mention some of them are transformed from humans. We shall act prudently.
You shall indeed.
If we have to cancel the ceremony, we must make the decision before New Year's Eve.
He writes the words Fortune Walk and Bridge Leap into a blank space on the account records in his hand, then circles them in red ink to serve as his reminder. As he does, he ponders and shifts his gaze nearby to the portrait of a giant bird. Oh, the portrait in question. It's, really well drawn out, eh?
A giant bird. A feather man. There's always trouble around New Year's.
Suddenly, there comes a loud fluttering of wings. This sound is not like one of common birds flapping, but is rather a droning, hazardous sound, the kind of titanic bird of prey approaching. Oh, wow, okay. A winged shadow covers the portrait on the desk. Li Zheng turns his head to see the visitor clearly, meeting it with a look of shock and heart-shaking doubt on his face.
You?
The visitor is no less than the very giant bird or feathered man depicted in that portrait. He glides in as smoothly and naturally as if he were entering an open glade. It seems as though the gods of the Chese were unaware of his arrival entirely.
Are you responsible for this place? It was someone else when I last visited. No matter. I have an urgent matter to discuss, or it will be too late.
Where did you drop off Yenisei? Without waiting for Li Zheng to react, a bizarre horse, or something like it, rushes in behind him. The horse's mane and tail are both red, and it bears a tiger stripe pattern along its body, the combination of which produces a truly incomparable sight. It steps forward, allowing Li Zheng to see it clearly. It suggests a great sort of intelligence on its movement. As for the featherman, he simply folds his wings and lands. The narrow space forces him to pinch himself tightly into the cramped room. Li Zheng notices a hint of embarrassment in his visitor as a result.
I'm Getian, and I'm here to advise caution. The lady owner of the tavern can turn people into Lushu. She needs to be stopped, or more people will suffer.
Wait, first of all, it's pronounced Getian, I think. I hope I will be able to pronounce it right. But second of all, and that is way more important, He is accusing Junyoung-je to be the bad guy here, basically. She's the one turning people into these, horses?
She has extremely light bones, which means she's still in the stage of development. She might be unstable, hence a danger to keep in the city.
What on earth is going on?
You are referring to Junyoung-je?
Precisely.
Bones. Are you the goddess of Lee Mountain that can read one's bones? But you don't look like her at all.
He looks rather masculine for a goddess, but why not? The brief silence conveys Getien's astonishment at the unexpected change in topic.
I am no goddess of Lee Mountain.
Then your words have no weight at all. You should have claimed to be her. Besides, goddess of Lee Mountain, take a look around you.
Though puzzled, Gesheng looks around as advised, only to find some paper with the same bird totems painted on it. Some of the papers even bear ink stains yet to dry, indicating their recentness.
You mean these paper cutouts? A man-faced bird with a red tail. You are drawing me.
Indeed. I do like his voice. Even though he recognizes the image in the painting, the idea of being worshipped through such artwork comes across as quite unnecessary. Apparently the horse is confused. Horseshoes impatiently clank on the ground, seeming to urge a sense of haste. This prompting, though, goes unnoticed.
But I'm not a Xiangrui. These paper cuts won't send me your prayers and wishes.
Ah, well, that's disappointing, I guess.
They are not paper cutouts for worshipping the Xiangrui, but wanted posters. And you are wanted.
No, I wanted him to continue with the misunderstanding. Getian is stunned for a moment, as if unable to understand Li Zheng's words. Whether paper cuttings or wanted notices, they are complex things found only in the world of the mundane. As such, he opts to ignore them for now and continue on with the purpose of his journey.
The most important thing is to find Jiu Niangzi. She's the culprit of the missing persons case in the city.
I thought you came here to confess or make peace. But it seems not. You come to defame Junyoung-je while being ignorant of the fact that you are the top suspect.
Upon learning that the culprit is not in fact the one he identified as Junyoung-je, Getian falls into an even deeper confusion. Many things outside the mountains are beyond his understanding.
How am I related to this?
Every time a disappearance was reported, you were witness bringing animals to the Zhizi.
No. The nature of my visit has been taken wrongly. The Zhili there knew what I came for.
When we arrived at the Jitsu, you had already fled without a trace. No one could testify in front of the Fa Jiao for her. So her words were considered nonsense. Now, she has returned to her hometown.
Upon hearing this, Gesheng breathes a sigh of relief.
I wouldn't have shown up in the city if not for the urgent matters. What's the purpose of lingering around when my business is done here? Besides, the Zhizi allowed arcane skills to be cast without restrictions in the city. So it is your responsibility to bear the consequences of such negligence.
You are very articulate. But how can you explain the testimony provided by the two foreign merchants? All roads are leading to you.
Yes, the two foreigners.
Do you confess?
They are the other reason why I'm here. One of the two is here with us. She can explain to you.
Ah. Getian leans over and asks the red-maned horse beside him to signal Li Zheng. Oh no, Is this Yenisei? I didn't get it at first, but it is indeed her red hair. The strange horse, after being ignored for a long time, seems to acknowledge that it can now finally make itself useful and step forward on proud hooves.
Wait, you mean she is...
Before Gesheng can react, Vertin flaps his wings, forcing the tea on the table to flip on the ground. The red-maned horse takes another step forward and turns to the spot where the stone bricks have been wetted. The tea seeps out over the interior stove, forming a pool in a small indentation. There, the reflection of the horse appears in a
I
flash.
ask for your patience. Please, look at the water on the floor.
Gesheng lifts towards the spot Vertin's line of sight indicates, where the fading reflection remains. But the liquid drains out along the long-lying and uneven floor, and eventually disappears into the crevices of the stone bricks. The tea, it seems, is just tea.
What is this for? Is this a demonstration of your discontent? Because I didn't treat you as a guest, offer you a seat, and give you a cup of tea?
I think there might be more to this than what you just said.
This should not be.
He appears to murmur to himself and turns to the red-tailed horse beside him, his words muddled with confusion.
Why didn't your arcane skill work this time? Or must it be clean water to reflect it? No, the water in the river was no cleaner. How did you do it earlier?
Having now weathered this series of absurd confrontations to his limits, the cultured manner of Gesheng breaks along with his patience.
Guards! Catch him!
Oh? Vertin is startled by the sudden and rapid footsteps and immediately flies upward. Within the narrow chamber, the shadow of his wings appears unusually large, and even the red-haired horse retreats beyond the shadow's range.
What is the meaning of this?
You are suspect. That's...
What I know. I told you truthfully. Why are you troubling me, instead of going after Zhongyangzi?
Because you offered no evidence.
Find some clean water. I'll prove it to you.
That's enough. Surrender now.
I will not fight you, but neither will you have me.
Hey, be careful not to hurt that horse. It might be one of the victims.
Ah, fighting time. Because why not?
Dental checkup.
Plus I'm over-leveled compared to these enemies, so this should be fine. Let's see, who do we attack first? We'll attack him.
The moment of silence.
Little buff.
It's newly made this year.
Little debuff.
Till the
And
torch
let's
is
handle
lit.
it.
Learn from silence.
Let's get it over quick.
Stay away from me.
There they are.
Okay, one down. Even though I wanted it to be the other one, but still. We'll
Another
attack,
attack
we'll
newly made
channel,
this year.
and oh no, you know what?
No worries.
We'll weaken it to crit, and then we'll attack
Another
and
attack
then
newly
channel,
made this year.
which means we should have multiple attacks go in. Oh wow, okay, no need for multiple attacks.
Victory secured. I should excuse myself.
Vertin flaps his wings and flies out, escaping to the courtyard. He does not leave immediately, instead deftly avoiding the attacks of the guards as he flits around the courtyard, despite the fact that this brief conflict has already left him injured.
Your strength will eventually run out.
Is this necessary? Find me the clean water, and I will show you what Zhongyangzi has done.
How will I know if you're using your arcane skill to fake the result? The truth is, we know the girl very well, but nothing about you.
Fair enough.
No one had gone missing in Pei City before you showed up. So how can we trust you or your proof?
Gertin gently shakes his head and lowers his wings.
And you have denied that you are a Shangre.
It is true that I'm not a Xiangrui, nor have I ever visited here.
If you're not a Shangre, then what are you exactly?
I never wanted to leave the mountain.
Then why did you? His movements make the wounds on his wings visible. His stance is low and reverent, suggesting his willingness to discuss the truth. Gesheng hesitates and, as a result, raises his hand to stop the storming advance of the guards.
But you still left.
I really shouldn't have come to the human world.
What do you mean?
My people have left the mountain and come to help you. They renounced their names, families, and even lives for you. They gave up everything so that you would have gods to worship. They became symbols, totems, except themselves.
What are you talking about, Featherman?
I have the same question.
I told you my name. I'm not a Featherman. This Featherman is not one of us. No need to call him by name.
It isn't any sort of prescience. It is only that the answer is a simple deduction.
Seems like my people have been long forgotten. You forgot the Getians who left the mountain, the city builders, the bridge masters, the flood fighters. They all faded into oblivion. You only remember the gods of Sheti, who never answered to your prayers.
So his name is not actually Getian, it's the name of his entire kind, his people?
That's why I'm discouraged by the idea of leaving the mountain like my people. I don't want to face such suspicion and disbelief after giving you all the help.
Who are you?
Now that I see it, the destruction of the bridge was inevitable. It was bound to happen, like I was bound to be left in the mountain and be the last of us.
The bridge? Did you have something to do with the broken bridge? Featherman, tell us!
Question no more. You can have me, if that's what you want.
Why is he abandoning? Why is he giving up? The message conveyed by Gertin's words and actions forces those present to hold their breath. He gives up his resistance and sees the connection between the broken bridge and this vague allegation. Though the onlookers wonder whether this might be merely a stalling tactic. The two who set off from the tavern heading toward the Zhese arrive in time to witness the end of the standoff. Desmond had been following Junyang closely all the way, but now stops just short of the Zhese's gates.
Miss Juning, sir, please wait.
Even without the ability to see it, she stops to analyze the tense atmosphere ahead.
Come no further!
Huh?
The gaze of almost everyone in the courtyard converges now on Gertian, wary of any possible movement. No one present believed that he would just surrender like this. And in an unnoticed corner, the rat-tailed horse deftly bypasses them all before running off in agitation, my bad. The horse that had rushed into the crowd then just as immediately weaves back out, seeming to aim to snatch Besmert out from behind Junyang. And it succeeds. And this is where we are going to be on a to be continued, aren't we? Yes, indeed. Stage 14. The good old days. Oh, my bad. The old days. They aren't good. They're just old.
What just ran out of there?
A horse.
That thing took away the lady. What's going on?
Junyang's words dissipate in the air without stirring a response. The eyes of all stare at Getian in the center of the courtyard. Most of all these are filled with doubt, suspicion, and fear. As the strange horse and its unwilling rider disappear in the distance, the communication arcane skill cast by the Bone Wand also seemed to dissipate.
Now we lost another witness. Did you plan this?
I left my wand in her tavern yesterday. Ask her. You will know.
Jiunangzi, is that so?
We did find a bone in the yard, but it's with that foreign lady now.
Tie him up first. Do you have more to say?
Everything I need to tell you, I have spoken it all. Catch her now, or even a real Xiangrui cannot save you from the disaster.
Why are you so obsessed with calling Jiunangzi the culprit?
What? You... I am the culprit? What kind of culprit am I?
It's fine, Jiunangzi. We all know you have nothing to do with the missing persons cases.
Well... I assume she might. I mean, honestly, we don't actually know. He is a bit jumping to conclusion because he knows her personally, I guess. But if you are to take an outsider's perspective, then she could actually be the culprit. We don't know one way or the other. Even though I think she's adorable, I love her, she's really cute and really funny, that doesn't mean she's actually innocent.
And he said that even a real Xiangrui cannot save you. He's more of a fake one to me.
Junyangzhe rushes angrily toward Getian, striding forward until she stands before him. But in her rush emotion, she loses her ability to speak.
You...
Stay calm. We will hold him in detention in Zhichi for now. I'll report this to the Fatzao. The first thing to do is catch up with the horse and the foreign lady.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And find his wand to figure out his arcane skill.
The crowd quickly moves according to Lu Zheng's command and exits the courtyard in an orderly fashion. Only a few scattered guards remain in the courtyard along with the three figures located in the center. At this point, it would seem obvious that Getian must be taken away, but as Lu Zheng has not yet ordered anything to that effect, no one dares to step forward. For though subdued, his huge wings and claws still serve as effective deterrents.
Take him away! Everyone else dismissed.
Well, the order came quite quickly.
Jiunangzi, follow me. There's something we need to talk about.
What would have been better for them is to actually have Getian and Junyangzhe talk to each other. Perhaps they could explain to each other what they do or did in the past, I don't know. Why is Getian accusing Junyangzhe? Although if Junyangzhe is actually deceptive and she's not innocent, then she would probably try and lie, but still, having a conversation might have yielded more results because, unfortunately, Getian's explanation is not good. I mean, he barely said anything, so I can understand why Li Zheng is not convinced. On the other hand, Junyangzhe said nothing so far. Well, she just said, oh no, I am a culprit. What am I? So yeah, there is all of that, I guess. It's not exactly convincing.
What do you want, Featherman?
九娘子,
You looked like a decent Xiangrui. Why did you say something like that?
Ah, so they are talking. Cool.
Even if you're not, aren't you afraid that the real Xiangrui will blame you for doing the wrong thing?
The girl appears as though she has not heard Li Zhang's words. The doubt in her questions is conveyed in an almost whispered tone. Gertian doesn't even lift his head. He remains motionless, like a statue.
九娘子, it is true that he is not the Xiangrui of our city. The Xiangrui who once protected our city has been long lost.
Junyangzhe turns her head, failing to connect the logic behind Li Zhang's statement.
But everyone thinks the Featherman on the mountain is the Xiangrui. Just look at him. How could people not take him as a Xiangrui by his look? The former Zhili told me that the Featherman looks like a Gomang, just like what was depicted in a picture book.
Gomang, the god of spring in ancient Chinese mythology, in charge of agriculture with wings and claws.
A Gomang is a confirmed Xiangrui recorded in a book.
九娘子,
But this man, of course he is not a Xiangrui. He isn't like the Gomang, nor the Mianmeng. He doesn't even understand the saying of, one can remove the footsteps, but not the path one walketh on.
Oh right, okay, I understand. It took me a second to actually understand it.
one can remove the footsteps, but not the path one walketh on. That's fair. One cannot commit wrongdoing without leaving a trace. However, we can't convict him without definitive evidence, such
Indeed.
as witnesses and his wand.
Which are currently running wild, quite literally.
The trace he left is yet to be found.
Junyangzhe squats down in front of Gertian in a sudden, inexplicable movement, then stares unwaveringly into his eyes as she speaks, as if she is to judge the authenticity of his words and expressions by doing so.
Featherman, do you know what is a real Xiangrui? Do you know where it is? Why did you take people's friends away and accuse me of being the culprit?
But Gertian seems to have made up his mind to remain silent. He lowers his head, taking a faint interest in observing the blood dripping from his wounds, an act of passive resistance. Well, of course he's not going to talk now. Well, I mean, he should. This is exactly when you should actually have a conversation, but obviously he doesn't want to because the writers want to keep us in suspense. A drop of blood steeps into his feathers. The moment passes long enough for the girl to organize her words and continue her barrage of questions.
Your appearance is given by heaven, so you should not act against the nature of your look just because of your personal preference.
What do you mean by that?
You could have become a much-loved spirit, like in the stories and picture books, as everyone expects you to be. But when you took away that foreign lady's teammates, you didn't care about their feelings. They didn't want to be separated.
Well, the situation was a bit more complicated than that. I mean, part of the team wanted to kidnap Yenisei and abandon Besmet. So, well, I guess she doesn't know that, obviously, but yeah, it just makes me a bit laugh to say that they didn't want to be separated. From her perspective, I guess so, but the truth is much more complicated than that.
You disappointed people. That's not what a Xiangrui should do.
All right, Xiu that's enough. Take him away.
Jianyangji watches coldly as Gesheng is taken away.
He didn't tell me anything, nor did he tell anyone.
Yes, indeed, that is the entire problem.
I know you're chasing after anything that could be a Xiangrui, but the Feather Man has clearly claimed that he is not one. To be honest, judging from his attitude, he has never had the intention to be one.
I don't understand. How could he not want to be one?
Not everyone is so interested in the legend of Xiangrui. The Pei City did have a good era under the protection of the Xiangruis. But after all these years, no one can recall that time without the help of the mythologies in the history books. Even I can't be sure if there's a real Xiangrui. But Jianyangzi, you should know that we don't need a Xiangrui anymore.
We don't need it?
With no Xiangrui, no divination, we can't arrive at Yun Temple. But this is still an orderly city. The Dushuo festival is as vibrant as ever. You can tell that a Xiangrui is not necessary for a city to prosper.
Indeed.
Is that so?
Jianyangji grasps the small bag she carries with her. The bag is embroidered with a peculiar combination of love poems. Though she has never really understood the meaning of the words, in some way they now mirror her own confused mind.
By the way, turns out you can read, can't you?
What? She has been lying to us this whole time?
Huh? You know that I can't lead Zheng.
One can remove the footsteps, but not the path one walketh on.
Oh, that's not what it seems to be. I heard it from the Taoist countless times, so I remembered it.
Which Taoist? In the city?
Jianyangji shakes her head to refute Li Zhang's assumptions.
No, it was a Taoist I traveled with before I came to Pei City. The Taoist said many different things over and over again. I couldn't understand, but I remembered them.
Sounds like you had a distinguished teacher. Since you came here, you've been treating people nice and kindly. Exactly the opposite of what Getian has done.
Fair enough.
Ah, so his name is Getian?
Yes, Getian. You said too many things to him.
Getian. Okay. I'm trying to pronounce things the right way, but it's not always that easy.
He is not the Xiangrui you are looking for. A real Xiangrui would never be so rude. It is very possible that he is only a Yao that has been living on the mountain for too long.
Her head lowers, seeming to find it difficult to accept such a change in thought.
But why did he accuse me like that? I don't get it. Did I do something wrong?
Maybe she is actually the culprit, but she doesn't actually know it? Perhaps she's unaware of her own wrongdoing?
Because you are the Zhili.
Jianyangji looks at Li Zhang, her face caught between doubt and curiosity. Having presented his point of view, the old man rubs his beard and laughs, knowingly helpless to influence the girl's reaction.
The former Zhili left because of what he said and did. Now he wants to play the same trick on you.
Oh, could that be the case, huh?
What's more, when he got here and saw me, but not you, he acted quite surprised. You can tell from the details.
The thoughts behind her eyes grow more muddled. Such deceitful scheming felt too complicated for her to comprehend.
Oh, and that captured foreign lady, she...
Don't worry. There are people searching for them now. As for us, we should confirm the details for tomorrow's fortune walk and bridge leap.
Right, bridge leap. I almost forgot. If only the broken bridge could be fixed, then we wouldn't need those festive animals, nor to jump over the bridge. During Getian's silence, I was thinking that, what if I can go to the Yuan Temple and ask Zhishu the Guardian? If the legend of the divination is real, then whatever the question is, Zhishu will answer me, right?
I guess so.
The two of them walk indoors, their conversation disappearing from the courtyard under the sound of footsteps on hard stone. Government office. We are back at Li Zheng's place. Within the pristine government office, two figures exchange information from their past few days so they might agree on their next step course of action.
That is the whole story. Getian is now detained in Jitsu's dungeon. Jiunangji is there as well. 4 hours ago, after discussing with the new Li, we decided to keep the ceremonies of Fortune Walk and Bridge Leap. But no colored animals are used this time. The number of animals will be less than those in previous years of Jishu. Here's a list of ceremony members and funds. I've asked people to deliver the copies to all the streets.
Li Zheng picks up a stack of papers from the desk and hands them out dutifully.
Thank you, sir.
This is my duty. As for Getian, we shall put him on hold until after the Dusho festival, according to the law.
One more thing. Have we found the horse and the proof?
Not yet. The horse taking that foreign lady away might still be under the control of Getian. There was no trace of them when our people chased them out of the city.
I understand. Given the road conditions in the morning rain, looks like we will have to continue with the search after it stops. But I don't think a horse carrying a blind woman can go far enough to escape. I'll lead the search squad myself next time.
Thank you, Fasao.
The imposing figure, with his back to the entryway, habitually presses down on the short sword at his waist, adjusting the position of the blade, then waves his hand again to show that he doesn't need to concern himself with such matters.
I'm only doing my job. Where is the Julie?
Are you referring to Jiunangzi, or the former one?
The one who went back to her hometown.
We haven't heard anything from her yet. Perhaps it will come after the Dushuo festival.
Does she have a name? Because every time you talk about her, you don't actually call her by her name.
Noted. Jiunangzi is still green, so please help me take care of the Jutsu before the former one comes back.
I will. She is kind-hearted. That is why I recommended her for this position. It will be my responsibility if she makes any mistakes.
Well, there are so many things to do before the new year. It's fine even if she makes a mistake or two. Don't push her too hard.
That's what I thought. If you find any evidence, or the two foreigners, please let me know.
Fasao rises nimbly while folding the documents. As he prepares to bid his farewell, he is stopped by Li Zheng's raised hand.
Oh, another thing. The New Year's feast tonight. You're welcome to Jiunangji's tavern with your relatives.
The tavern? Are the people around the merchant's hub going too?
Yes, she is hosting a feast for the neighbors. It is the New Year's Eve vigil, followed by the first day of Dushuo festival. It is an annual tradition at the tavern.
Shuo Zhi, the New Year.
Right. Another year of the Jishu. Hopefully the Yuan Temple, which worships the Jishu, will bring us good news.
Having said his piece, leaving only a moment of silence, the two of them look out the window toward the eaves of the broken bridge and the temple flickering in the misty rain. To be continued. Stage 15. hollow-eyed. The striped horse with its red mane charges through the pouring rain carrying Besmert. All the way it runs with wild abandon as if afraid of possible pursuers behind them, and perhaps to prevent the person on its back from jumping off should it slow down.
Halt! Do you hear me?
The horse runs onward still, even striding several shallow depressions with ease before continuing forward. Seeing her words taking little effect, Besmert attempts to slow it down using her prior experience with horses. As she releases her breath, she lets go of the mane and replaces one hand in front of the creature's neck, while the other hand caresses the fur on both sides, adjusting to match the rhythm of its gallop.
Easy. Easy now. Good child.
After taking another deep breath, she seizes the opportunity to vault herself off the horse and tumble down in a quick movement. Besmert falls into the shallows, just as she intended. Well, that was a risky move, because I mean, she could have just fallen onto rocks, hit her head first, and just die right there. I mean, jumping off of a horse is very dangerous, but good on her for not dying, I guess. She still hurt herself, I think. The horse stops not far from where she lands and turns back. Ignoring the accumulated pain of new and old injuries, Besmert clambers out of the water, but her hand sinks into the soft mud along the shallow shore. Though not as sticky as the swamp, for a while she finds it impossible to stand.
Madam!
Oh, you can speak now.
What? Is it you, Yenisei? Where are you?
The familiar voice is certainly within earshot, but Besmert cannot place its direction, no matter how hard she strains. She struggles to lift herself out of the mud and falls again.
I'm sorry. Are you hurt? I was so anxious. We must not let them catch us.
I'm all right. I'm good. How did you...
I am talking to you through the water. Please hurry up and get back on me.
Oh, she can talk through water. Because I know her arcane power are related to water, but I didn't know she could do that. I guess perhaps that was what Vertin was trying to get her to do while in the office with Gesheng.
You've turned into a striped horse too? Or is this your arcane skill?
I'm guessing she turned into a horse.
I am not a striped horse, madam. I'm a
You're not?
Lushu. Both of them are arcane creatures, but not the same kind. And yes, that's my arcane skill.
Right, the talking part is your arcane skill, but the Lushu part is not, right?
I can show images and a few sounds through water. I cast it once when we
Yeah.
passed by the swamp in Tula, remember?
Yeah, okay, yeah, the communication part is her arcane skill, but how did she become a Lushu? I'm guessing she's going to tell us? I hope
What
she's
about
going
the
to.
Lushu? What are they?
Lushu.
Did Gesheng take you away and turn you into this?
That strange term she heard before all this began suddenly reappears in her mind. Besmert quickly associates...
Karina's making too much noise. I can't hear you or the surroundings.
Can I read it again, please? Thank you. I didn't have time to finish reading. That strange term she heard before all this began suddenly reappears in her mind. Besmert quickly associated with her current situation. I didn't miss much, but still.
Get on my back. I'm not sure how far they are from us.
I don't hear any footsteps from grown men. Come here, child. Help me up.
Yenisei then steps closer and scoops Besmert out of the sinking shallows.
Thank you. So, what happened? The situation is getting trickier and trickier.
We made a mistake. Gesheng didn't turn me into a horse. On the contrary, he saved my life.
Interesting.
Then who was it? Who did this to you?
You didn't drink any water last night, did you? But I did. Quite a lot. After you went into the room, Junangzi and I had a chat downstairs, and she gave me the water.
So that is the problem. I'm guessing perhaps the water she gave her was the same kind of water the humans in the party, the group, drank from that water source earlier.
This is the difference. Gesheng said her arcane skill was cast through liquids like water and liquor.
My poor child.
I went upstairs after the chat. You must have been too tired to notice me at the time. I stayed in the room but couldn't sleep at all, so I went downstairs again. That was when I heard someone singing. That song. I'd never heard it before, and I had no idea what the lyrics were about. All I remember is that the melody was soft and a bit unusual.
Oh, you mean when the dolls were singing and dancing?
Then I found that someone was a group of wooden dolls.
Yep.
They were small and would melt when they touched liquor.
Oh, they would melt when touched liquor? Okay. Yennefer extracts the frightening journey from her mind, trying as best she can to narrate it back in a calm tone.
And there were horses in the yard, also humming the melody. They had red manes and red tails, just like what I look like now. I didn't know they were loose shoes until now. Their stripes glowed under the moon.
But didn't you have a closer look at the Lushua last night?
I had no time to see it clearly, to be honest. Anyway, that chat I had with Junangzi was quite good. Everything felt so comforting at the time, so I don't understand.
Then, why are you different from the animals turned from Mr. Durian and the others? You told me they only have stripes on them.
Yes, I have an assumption about that, but I can't verify it now.
Could you then share it with us, Sil?
What is it?
Yennefer falls into silent reflection for a moment before answering Basmat.
Remember the river our team found? Perhaps that was the lower course of the main river, and it included Junangzi's arcane power because the stream across her yard is near one of its branches. The running water might have diluted the arcane power in there.
I see.
Usually, a stream of running water is like an independent settlement. It rejects outsiders by nature. Even I have been rejected more than once. The striped horses our teammates turned into could be an accident caused by an incomplete arcane skill.
Those other striped horses in the Jitsu, are they too...
Perhaps Junangzi had no idea at all that she somehow leaked her arcane skill into the river.
That was my hypothesis as well.
As for the water I had, she must have made it on purpose.
Oh, but why would she? Both of them sink into a silence made awkward by the revelation.
Then, how did Getienne get involved in all this?
Last night, after he saved me from the wooden dolls...
Oh, we're getting a flashback, perhaps? The topic of their recollections, only just resumed, is again interrupted, this time by the sudden stopping of the rain. Yennefer looks up as if to confirm it has really ended. If the rain has stopped for good, this also means they'll need to keep moving to avoid being
The rain
found.
has stopped. We need to find shelter, madam.
No, child. I don't see why he had to take you away. What if I was there with you?
All I know is he was there to take us out of the danger, and he's injured now. When we confronted the people at the Gesheng, he didn't fight back at all. I think he didn't hurt them for a reason. If he really meant to help us, we must go save him.
Child, all of a sudden you seem to trust this creature entirely. Did he do anything else for you? Based on what we know, Getienne, Li Zhong, and Jian Nengze, they all seem strange.
Please trust me, madam. I used to think this way too. Maybe he's fooling us with a fake rescue. But he's not. He even showed me his arcane skill to win my trust. Yes, he read my bones.
You read your bones? I know they mentioned it earlier in the previous stage, I believe, but I still don't really understand what that means. What does reading your bone mean?
Can you imagine that? He gained information by reading my bones. And then he actually told me something I didn't even know about myself.
I'm still skeptical about this whole situation, but it is to be continued. Stage 16. See what I see.
Let me go! Where are you taking me?
Oh, this is then the flashback I was waiting for.
You...
If I let go, you will fall. And hold your life dear. You are a lot more vulnerable than you can imagine.
Quit threatening me! It's a river down there!
Yes, but you don't know how shallow it is. Even a lantern can't float on it. It's dying, unlike the other branches you saw outside the city.
So what? Does that explain why you captured me? Fine. The river is dying. I'm held by a birdman in mid-air. I'll fall and die if I struggle. There's nothing I can do.
Yes, it's a rare wisdom for a girl of your age to know her limits.
Well, even though there's nothing she can do, she can still speak and at least ask questions.
But I'm not a birdman. I'm a Yao. My name is Getian.
Yenisei gives up on her mid-air struggle, pondering over his name and identity.
You can use arcane skills. You're an arcanist.
If you say so, then it is so. We have gone for miles. I'll leave you here. Beyond the ford, you will see the step.
If you could actually explain yourself, Getian, things would go much smoother, I think. Getian slows down, just as he said he would, and after a moment, he gently places Yenisei on the ground. Given her situation, she had not anticipated such gentle treatment.
I don't understand. What on earth is your purpose? Why did you turn humans into horses? I believe you can commit much worse crimes if you want to. Are you doing it for fun?
Getian stops to the side of a curved tree growing like a bridge over the vines of a shallow stream, face heavy with a look of contemplation.
The more you ask, the more mistakes you make.
There is no such thing as a wrong question.
I will answer one of the questions regarding why I turn people into horses.
Let me guess, you're gonna say you didn't.
The answer is I didn't do it.
Yep.
Neither did I have that intention.
Interesting. Who did it then?
The lady owner of the tavern.
Junangzi?
Precisely.
Yenisei shakes her head, not believing his words.
If that's the case, why did you leave Madame Besmirtz there alone? Do you really think I would buy your nonsense after I saw you take my teammates away?
You saw the horse in the yard, with the red tail and red mane, did you not?
Yes, I saw.
It's not a horse, it's a lushu. Or at least it looks like one.
Lushu. I have never heard of it before. It sounds like an arcane creature native to the east.
Getian doesn't respond. He only continues to contribute yet more astonishing information.
It is a lushu. And also Jiu Niangzi herself.
What now? How so?
What? That thing is Junangzi?
What you saw tonight was not real lushu. Those horses merely resembled half of them. I speak of the fact that Jiu Niangzi might be a lushu, a kind of yao, or as you would put it, an arcane creature.
Same as you then, because you said you were a Yao.
Your words sound even more complicated than those in the city. Is it because you are also an arcane creature, like the Lushu? Or you have a thing only the pure-blooded can understand?
We're nothing alike. Lushus are Xiang race, born with red manes and white faces, covered with tiger's markings. In the books, Lushus are capable of casting arcane skill named the Shape of Will. It could be the same skill that Jiunyangzi uses to turn others into Lushus. Do you understand?
Yes, I'll try.
The Shape of Will is a dangerous and secret skill. As written in the books, the Lushus use it to transform blood into fire and stone into gold.
Okay, so they are alchemists of some kind?
So, it's like alchemy.
There you go.
I'm unfamiliar with what you said, but Jiunyangzi's power seems to be restricted. She cannot fully transform into a Lushu like a Yao could, nor does she possess great power. She's closer to a half Yao. Unlike other Lushus, she requires a certain medium to cast her skill, the Shape of Will. This is also why people did not recognize her. She's harder to identify.
Junangsi. Half Yao. Is that another name for the mixed blood? Anyway, even if you're telling the truth, how did you know that?
It is within my bloodline. Like you find your direction through the water, I read people through their bones.
If it is within your bloodline and you read people through their bones, does that mean that you are actually related to the goddess Li of the mountain or something like that? I don't remember how they actually called it, but there was some kind of goddess that could read bones as well. But he clearly isn't the goddess, so perhaps he's actually just related to them.
How did you know my... Wait, you mean you can read people through their bones? That makes no sense. What can one's physical condition tell you?
Many stories, many sounds, even if I was never there with them. Such as you, the markings on your bones resemble an open net, yet it captures nothing. You are away from the waterless land where you once lived, and to this day you are still wandering.
What?
The girl's eyes widened with astonished disbelief.
You will travel far many times in life and turn homeward, like the migratory birds, until you find your lake.
What on earth are you talking about?
What
Have I
indeed?
mistaken anything? I should hope not. Forgive me. I have long since stopped reading others' bones and put them into words. Perhaps I did not tell it in the most precise way, but it should be generally accurate.
All right, stop. I need some time to digest your words.
Yes, so do I. A bizarre spectral sound cuts off Yenisei's reply.
Careful.
Strange creatures that resemble balls dragging long tails suddenly leap out from the trees behind the two of them. They shriek and charge towards Yenisei, who is most evidently their target. Oh, these things again.
These things again! They already attacked me once in the street.
Yes, indeed, these things again.
Ugh! These stupid birds!
Following closely behind is a mysterious creature markedly different from the other feathered balls.
This one is shining bright! Get out of my way! Ow!
What is Vertin doing in the meantime? It is indeed exceptionally bright and long, illuminating the shallow stream in front of them on both sides. And it is fighting time.
My duty lies with you.
Oh wow, when they said they were balls, they were quite accurate. Very well. Let's see.
The moment of silence. The moment
Debuff.
of utterance.
Another jar?
It's gonna be pretty much the same tactic.
benefit from reading.
Enjoy!
Oh well, these things are going to die. Oh, they can cast poison. But you're dead, and you're dead. Oh, there is a second one. Interesting. I'm thinking, oh, is this?
It's newly made this year.
Yes.
Another jar?
Honestly, it's a bit overkill, I think. Yeah, it's definitely overkill. You're dead, and now you're... Oh, first of all, there was the follow-up, and then there was the normal attack. So yeah, definitely overkill. Vertin stares in the direction the scattered Zhuei ran off, his mind burdened with thought.
Have you drunk the liquor? Offered by Jiu Nyangzi?
No, but I had the water from her. Why?
These Zhuye might be attracted here by the scent of liquor. They feed on the flowers of Zhuye, which can be used to make liquor and smell of leaves.
Wait, so the creatures are called Zhuye, and the flowers they feed off from are also called Zhuye. I mean, I see the connection and why they might be named the same thing, but it makes things a bit hard when you are trying to explain things.
They could be here because they smelled the liquor. But you only had water. What else could attract them?
Yenisei thinks back to the preceding events.
If they were attracted by the scent of liquor, I think it was the wooden doll's fault. They soaked themselves in the liquor before they attacked me. I might have gotten their scent during the battle.
Oh.
The scent of liquor stands is not strong enough to attract them here. It would have taken a proper consumption of liquor for them to notice. I worry that liquor is the medium for her transformation skill. But that is only my speculation. If the water you drank also exerts the same effect on you.
As though his words hold the power of execution, the change happens the very moment he speaks. No,
What?
Yenisei.
You...
Yenisei kneels down and her body transforms, just as her companions transformed on the steps before her. And she is indeed a horse. A horse zebra, sometime. Although Vertin had already anticipated this moment, he cannot help but be startled by this strange process and flaps his wings involuntarily. His instincts tell him to flee. Night falls. The rain has stopped, and the riverbank is moist and soft. Cao Cao leads his team in search of the red-haired horse trail, finally arriving at the edge of the river, the exact spot where Vertin and Yenisei stayed the night before.
Find anything? Someone was here. Seems like a horse with a female, tall and thin.
Not a horse, but a foal. Look carefully. The footsteps are smaller and shallower than a horse's. Where are the end of the tracks?
The river beach ahead. The track stopped 3 meters away. We couldn't tell where they went.
That can't be.
Cao Cao strides over to inspect the traces near where the trail of footprints ends.
It rained a couple of times. The rain could have washed away the footprints.
If that's the case, there shouldn't be other tracks here. Like this. A bird's claw marks at the edge of the rotten wood. It was a bird of prey. And judging from the size and the sharpness, it's quite strong.
It's true. Hey, I found another 2 sets of footprints. They're shallow and narrow, possibly from the same person, a young woman.
The wood lies on the ground near the river. It's not a good spot for birds of prey to roost on. What stopped here was something even bigger. A young woman met a huge bird of prey here, yet there is no blood stain at all. Perhaps the truth behind the foreign merchant's disappearance is different from the Featherman's statement. We need to go back to the Jitsu.
On the steps, Alicia stands in place of a girl. The fright of this transformation sends Gesheng up into the air.
Too late. So it seems her tea can also transform people. I must report this to the authorities.
Oh, so this is when he had the idea to talk to Li Zheng. Except it didn't really work out because, let's face it, Gesheng's explanations and his communication skills are quite lacking. I guess that's to be expected from a dude who apparently lived in the mountains and didn't want to leave the mountains.
Stay here.
Yeah, she's definitely not staying.
No, you must not leave.
You can speak through the water.
You know what my arcane skill can do, but I can't maintain it for long. I spend too much energy fighting the Juliers.
I must take leave.
Where are you going? You need to save Madame Besmetz. Please, I'm begging you. Please save her. She can't see, and she's still alone in the tavern. She must be in great danger now.
Oh wow, I love her voice acting, it's really good. You can sense her desperation to save Madame Besmet. And the character itself, I mean Yenisei, she seems to be really devoted to Madame Besmet. Although I don't exactly know why. I don't know what kind of relationship they truly have.
I have thought about it. Given that my wand was also left in that tavern. But should I return, Jiunyans might be alerted. I sense kindness in that girl. She hasn't done anything evil except for turning people into lushus. Your friend should be safe with her for the moment. The more urgent matter is to spread the word before she further repeats her mistake.
I think a better thing to do would have been to actually talk to her. If you actually sense that she's a kind girl, which is what we have seen so far, then perhaps talking with her and explaining things might have yielded better results again. Communication is an important tool, and I'm not saying that it would have worked out either way, because we don't know if she isn't actually evil within. I mean, perhaps she's just hiding her evilness, but that would have been a nice thing to try, at least, I think.
I must go find someone to handle this properly.
Please take me with you. They believe you are the one behind the missing persons case now. You'll be turning yourself in if you go alone.
Gesheng is startled, having never thought such an outcome might occur.
I see. The world outside the mountains is indeed not meant for me to step into.
So he was warned that he was a wanted featherman, and yet the way he presented the information it wasn't the best, to be honest. Well, I guess we couldn't have expected anything more from him, but still.
But you are already involved. Besides, we gave Liu Zhang a drawing of you when I was not clear of the truth.
No matter. I will reason with him.
Very poorly, but yeah, I suppose you did try.
Even so, you will need me there. Look at my arcane skill. It will be the best proof, right? So they will know that Junang Si is the real culprit who turned the people into horses. I mean, lushus.
Is that really needed?
It would be better.
You need to know that you are a suspect. Even though I know you are innocent, you need something absolutely persuasive to prove it. All in all, you must take me with you. My arcane skill will vindicate you.
Well, things didn't exactly turn out that way. Now, I believe this is a nice stopping point for the video, so as usual, I'm recording this little conclusion to wrap things up. However, I will not give you my opinion on this part of the story just yet, because, as I said in my introduction, I finished the rest of the story in one single sitting. As such, I feel like I shouldn't review merely part of the story when I know it in its entirety. So if you want to find out what I think about it, you will have to wait until the end of the next video. Anyway, leave your thoughts on the game in the comments down below. If you liked this video, don't forget to press the like button ever so gently and subscribe for more. I am Happy Owl and this has been my production.